making all the topics up as they go, kind of just going on with the flow. So welcome to the show. Sit on your chair and just go press play. Coming to your screen now without delay. Listen to the rant any time of day. When you have three people with a mic that talk about all the weird things they like, making all the topics up as they go, kind of just going on with the flow. So welcome to the show. Sit on your chair and just go press play. Coming to your screen now without delay. Listen to the rant any time of day.
Hello everyone, we will be starting shortly. We're just dealing with a little tech difficulty, so just hold on to your britches.
When you have three people with a mic that talk about all the weird things they like, making all the topics up as they go, kind of just going.
Hi Netro! Thank you for being a member for 10 months. Well, I am. I could turn you on. Here we go.
Oh, why would you do that? It would be far funnier if people could not hear what you are replying to.
I've had that happen too many times on stream where, like, I did that by accident. It wouldn't even matter anymore.
Nothing else matters. Blah, 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 blah.
But we will be starting soon,
so.
chat. Don't worry. The reason I haven't switched to our main screen is I want to keep the surprise a little surprising.
Also, you keep the music going. No, I mean this in a good way. You keep the music going. It's a theme,
Yes.
This is a theme song. Gets too little
It does get too little attention
Yeah,
for how much I
yeah.
paid for it.
Oh, let's not talk about money, alrighty? Woohoo!
It was worth the money, but yeah.
It was worth the money, but...
I mean, I have talked to Tavern before, and Tavern was like, you guys should do a cover of it where you three are singing it. And I was like, I feel like only 2 out of the 3 would be okay with this idea. And I'm one of the 2. Max
Now,
never
who
tried to
is the
sing
other
Metallica ever again? What do you mean, Charlie?
There was
Am I missing context?
Yeah, I was just singing 2 minutes ago. Like.
I thought you were singing Queen. I thought you said nothing
No,
really
I-
matters.
Yeah, I said nothing else matters. You see, there's a very, very huge difference between
you're gonna
those two.
mansplain Metallica to me? You're gonna Metallica mansplain?
Oh no, I'm explaining language to you.
Oh, gross. Even worse.
I know, right?
Did somebody say money? Chrissy, how dare you, Chrissy? I mean, I did say money.
Oh, I heard the limb of...
I see a Lauren.
Oh god, my AirPods haven't been hooking up. Shit.
Can you hear us at least?
Yes, I can definitely hear you. I don't know what was up with the mobile version, but I could hear like the faintest little.
It's okay.
I mean,
it's
this
okay.
was-
The point is you're here.
Yes.
I mean, this was basically
you know
what we
I
were saying.
really love is when Discord decides to shove in an update right when I'm about to start.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I know. If it makes
those are
you
the
feel
best.
better, my Discord crashed and updated while we were waiting for you.
Oh, frick.
Oh yeah, it was very fun on my end. Like, okay, we were just sitting there, only 2 people, lonely in a call, and then blum. What was it?
We just ditched Max, apparently.
Where's the screen share? She must come back, right?
Hello? Hello?
Help.
Help,
Also, hey.
Mr. Obama.
Hello.
Hello? Hello? Miss Cosmic? Miss Rhodey? Hello?
Also, hello, Goy Gillian. 91.
How has your guys' day or night been so far? Oh yeah, one of us is in the evening.
It is very evening over here. It's dark and everything given
I'm
the
doing
month.
alright. I haven't slept yet.
Overrated.
And I could feel the piercing glares of two people in this call at me.
All right. I stared greasingly and didn't.
Well,
say
I know
anything.
it's either that or a very disappointed eye roll of course.
Oh yeah, I'm very like. Aww.
The intro, the starting soon screen. Your expression here is very telling.
Oh,
But yes, I know you guys are probably wondering why I had the starting soon screen on so long, because usually I at least bring us to the table. But it's because it's spooky month, guys! It's super spooky, so I made
it's actually spooky month this time.
I wanted to make something a little special. Oh no,
boom, baby!
You two are. Let me resize
it makes
you guys.
sense for Lauren. It makes sense for Lauren. Let her keep floating because she's a ghost.
No. I gotta put her in her correct spot. Though it makes you look like, what is it? Cousin Fester or whatever? Cousin It from Addams Family. Just a little lump.
Also,
There we go.
Do I see another ghost that has been summoned?
What?
Is this a little himbo?
Oh no, that was not the attempt! I just wanted to put a ferret with a pumpkin!
But you put a dead ferret on screen.
I did not put a dead ferret on screen.
Wait,
no!
what the hell did I miss?
Well,
anyway, this is a nice photo.
I wanted to put something on the desk. I thought a ferret with a pumpkin would be funny. And you made lemons from lemonade, Max. Cool. Thank you.
Oh, it can be even worse.
No.
You want me to ruin Lauren's costume?
No! Absolutely not!
Okay, I won't.
It's not pointy enough for you to ruin it. My god. Wow. I thought it was funny. I was trying to make a Peanuts reference with hers. I thought it was funny. Look, her little heart hair makes a little indent.
Oh, this is no. I didn't go in that direction. Okay.
Stop! You
Oh god,
stop
I just
that
choked
right
on my
now.
monster. Oh my god.
Also, a thing that makes a lot more sense at Halloween.
Oh, it burns.
Yeah.
Oh god. You know what? Where's the poison for Cusco? Where's Cusco's
Cusco?
Also, hi, I'm Jax from the Amazing Digital Circus. I feel like my costume just got fully wiped away, given Max's great contributions to this conversation. I was like, I want to do something special and nice, want to put us all in little costumes. Wow, my idle position actually is very fitting given my emotions right now. Just...
I mean, you picked the right character.
Yeah. OMG, it's Gooseworks. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. I am not Gooseworks. I wish I was.
Is that Jax Gooseworks from the Amazing Digital Circus?
Is that Michael Kovacs from the Long Gone Hell of a Circus
Hell of a has-been?
Anyways, welcome back, folks. We are back with the spooky adventures of the Disney Battle Brackets.
Whoa.
If you just gotta put the ghost right here. There you go, and Prince John can still sit on the sheet. If you were here last time, we made great strides and progress, and we are now at what would you call this? The half finals? Quarter finals?
Wait. This is the finals. This would be the quarterfinals. This would be the octafinals. Is this... Wait. This is... No, this is final. So this is half final. Oh, we had like 16 still out.
Yes. So, let's not waste any more time before Max says something else to just make everything uncomfortable.
I just want to point out that I have not said the thing you accuse me of.
No, you did. You said okay. I'm not repeating it.
But it was not the thing that you accused me of something that
What was the thing you were gonna say to ruin Lauren's costume?
Are you sure you want me to say it? Because then I ruin it. And... No takesies backsies once I say it.
Do it.
Okay. When she talks, it looks like there's something else in a hand under her sheet.
Wait, Lauren, say something.
What?
It's not. That's her hand. That's her hand.
I know that it is her hand. I know, but
don't fucking Little Mermaid priest boner knee this costume.
I told you that I don't want to say it because it would ruin it, but you then insisted that I do say it.
It does not look like a boner. First of all, how high up is that dick if it's that high up?
She could be a gnome.
Oh god, the gnome is packing schmeat if it's that big.
Oh yeah.
The question is, why would I be dressed up as a gnome for Halloween when I know I could be literally anything else?
I mean,
no,
you're just a gnome in your daily life, so...
Yeah, you are a gnome dressed up as a ghost.
So why would I want to... If I could be something I'm not.
Anyways, time to go pick villains. We could just put Max on this bracket at this point.
Oh yeah, you know it.
So I guess let's start with the mommy issues tier. So we have Mother Gothel versus Yzma. Now, Max, I think, given your costume, I think we need you to be first person.
Oh no. Okay. Again, I can potentially do this. Now, do I need to pick Yzma out of principle because she is from my IP, or do I need to specifically not take Yzma because she is my antagonist and therefore I don't want to see her proceed? But we could go about it Julius Caesar style, who boushed up his own enemies first before then bragging with their defeat. Do I want to go all Julius Caesar, or do I just want to give my honest opinion which one I think is the better villain? I mean,
giving your honest opinion is such a novel concept, but I heard that it's very hip with the kids these days.
Well, let me see then. I mean, for obvious reasons, I love Yzma because it's fucking Emperor's New Groove. But when it comes to true villains, I'm afraid she is too much. I mean, she has, for her age, for her undefined but horrendously high age, amazing agility and endurance. You have to give her that. Like in this department, she definitely outshadows Mother Gothel. I was trying to make a point for Mother Gothel, but I'm starting to slowly convince myself that Yzma is actually not too bad. I mean, she can break time and space to a point where even her assistant is like, yeah, actually, this doesn't make any sense. She is hip with the young man, probably due to some contractual arrangements, but still, have you seen, besides the beef twins, who are not really, who are just aligning with her because they have a shared enemy, besides that, you don't really see Mother Gothel really letting out her feminine wilds and
doesn't she flirt
controlling the men
with the drunk bar member that's played by Mr. Peanut Butter?
Oh, does she know? Well, maybe she does. Anyways, it's a question. Do we take a villain who is obviously comedy, walking, talking slapstick, with a villain that actually has like a menacing, manipulative presence.
I don't know. This is your vote.
It is my vote. No, I as much as I love the bid, Mother, if you go about it objectively, I would say Mother Gothel is the better villain, which is truly menacing. How did you? Huh.
Well, okay, so we got one vote for Gothel. Spooky ghost from the great beyond. What is your vote?
It's tough. They're both solid villain ladies.
I love your little. I'm just saying, I really love your little profile thing when you talk, because it just looks like a little ghost is pointing with a little hand, just like, ooh.
Ooh.
Definitely a hand.
Yeah, you're right. I like that one. Anyway.
That one!
Yeah.
Oh, no, now you're giving yourself an Anya voice.
Anyways.
I was gonna say, on the one hand, you have somebody who actually, they both accomplish their goals, but one only gets it like halfway. The other one actually does succeed. She's just not very good at it.
Mm-hmm.
Ouch.
And akin to Scar, if anything, if you could say somebody got what they wanted, but it turns out they were shit at what they wanted. But they're both sassy. They're both musically inclined. I mean, you got Eartha Kitt. I mean, it's just like, she doesn't sing nearly enough. But
I mean, they snuffed out her big number when they turned it into Emperor's New Groove, and that's a crime.
Yeah, they literally snuffed out her light. Kingdom of the Sun, everybody. Anyway, God, it's really tough because Mother Gothel is like the epitome of the abusive mother figure, and all under the guise of acting like she cares. And then you have one who's just straight up outright, she's bad. She doesn't make it a secret. She'll play off some things comically, but she doesn't make any secret that she's bad. I'm gonna have to. I love Yzma, I really do, but the one that is truly more heinous, especially I'm like, even whether or not you want to consider the context of like the Tangled series of knowing how bad Gothel really was.
She can always get worse.
Yeah, don't worry, she can always get worse. It hurts. I really love Yzma, but I'm gonna have to go. I mean, Gothel is straight up going like, again, it's always the people that when they act like they are actually doing something that'll help you when they really aren't. They're doing it for their own selfish reasons, and they're doing it to manipulate you. Gothel's gotta be the worst of the two.
So Yzma's purple, and I'm purple. So I like the color purple.
Yeah, that's a good argument. I see. Please continue.
Her eyes are kind of yellow, and my eyes are yellow.
Yes, I can't argue with it.
Yzma tried to. It's like, sure, Yzma attempted regicide, thought she succeeded, but at the same time, she still.
Yeah,
she wasn't
but no,
successful.
as much as I love Yzma,
Mother Gothel
is just
successfully kidnapped a princess.
Gothel is also just one of the
18 years.
Gothel was one of the last really good, we know you are a villain, there is no twist villain that we've had. Until Wish comes out and we finally get an unapologetic villain. Who is also attractive.
So ready for King Magnifico. Let's freaking go! New villain era!
New villain era. And oh no, he's hot! The amount of tweets I've seen where people are quote tweeting
like, let's not dance around that
and being like, Daddy, hello, Daddy, and it's like, guys, whatever happened to good morning, how are you? Like, Where's the courting system here? What happened to bringing up flowers and a box of chocolates? My God!
It's hey Mater, it's fine. It's glad to finally be back in Radiator Springs.
I want
you. What?
It's just like, my God. I've never seen this feral of a first for a Disney character before the thing fucking comes out.
Like, look, there's a whole generation now that is into, well, frankly, the DILFs. So
no, I think there's just a whole generation who's very repressed and really, really just wants, someone awful. I think that's just the problem. Millennials and Gen Z have trash taste in that we just want to consume garbage. And that includes the people.
Change them.
Anyways, next and look, I'm being egalitarian. This goes to the same people who want to fuck Harley Quinn. You want to fuck the crazy person?
Yes, I do. Sorry, what was the question?
Yeah, no, I'm just saying. Like I said, millennials and Gen Z want to consume garbage. Because if you look at the quality of person. Anyway, so speaking of garbage, here's a rat.
Don't tell him that though.
And I guess colonialist. Well, not really, but he's pillaging.
It's the same likability.
Same likability, same principles. But yeah, so we have Ratigan versus Rourke from Atlantis. Alright, I'm gonna go first with this one. I like both villains. I think Rourke in Atlantis is very underappreciated. Because people talk about Atlantis a lot in retrospect nowadays. But even with the retrospective talk about it, I feel people don't bring up Rourke a lot. I think that he's very likable in the worst way possible because he's garbage. But, the thing is that he melded so well with the rest of the team because the whole team are just kind of assholes. With the exception for Sweets.
Like he could come across as the one that would deliberately stab the other ones in the back, but they're all kind of assholes.
Except, and come on, he also gave us the great gif of him lighting the match and being like, okay, who's still alive? I think that he's a great presence. And also... He
was a very gifted man.
And also, I do feel like, he's fairly ruthless. He almost won. If it wasn't for, Kita's crystal actually activating the destiny, well, we would be fucked. And he also both of these also died in very brutal ways. One got Cagliostroed, and the other one turned into lava crystal. Both are awful. But in that vein, I think Ratigan does have more of a presence. But, I mean, he's Moriarty. He's already classically going to be iconic. This is really hard. They are both really good, and they're played really well. But I think if we're just going by heinousness, not icon status or how entertaining you are. We went with the same rhetoric that we did with Gothel and Yzma, right? I would say Rourke is worse. He wants to destroy an entire culture that hid for a very good reason.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't have any air of goofiness like, hey, I'm going to be the king consort, and, just... Tell all the women and children and elderly that I want your money, This one was just, we're just going to steal all this stuff and kill or enslave. Welp. So yeah, my vote's actually going to be for Rourke. Not the furry answer. Speaking of furry, Lauren, what's your vote?
Look, as great Ratigan is as a villain, again, both are fantastic villains in their own right. and they almost get away with what they are setting out to accomplish, right? But I don't want to sound like I'm bandwagoning. I'm going to agree that Rourke is objectively worse, especially on the scale of what he sets out to do versus what Ratigan does. Not just in the sense of, okay, well, it's a rat trying to take over, like, the rodent world. That's a small portion of the London populace.
Tell that to the plague.
I know. Well, we're talking about Sherlock Holmes era London, not bubonic plague era. So, and plus that was the fleas on the rats, not the rats themselves. Anyway.
Okay, Ratatouille short. Like, come on now.
Anyway, with Rourke, it is true, and he's the epitome of the capitalist that comes in, and that's all he sees is like, this is what I'm gonna make money off of, and I don't care who I hurt, I don't care what I destroy. I literally have my demolitions man, go in and blow up ancient artifacts.
Wait till they see how I glitter.
So that's like going, I don't care how I do it. I don't care who gets in my way, I'll kill them. As long as I get my money at the end of the day. And, he basically is like, I'm gonna, like, the entirety of Atlantis can disappear into the bottom of the sea again. I won't care, as long as I have the crystal. And, yeah, you gotta think, that's objectively far worse. Ratigan's bad, but you have to think, Rourke is objectively far worse.
That is fair.
You gotta think.
So,
I
don't know, man.
So Max,
I mean,
do you want to bandwagon?
You can't
with
really
us,
argue
or?
against. You can't really argue against objectivity. I guess we are unanimous.
You don't want to make any argument for Ratigan since the last Three Idiots, you actually watched the movie.
I did watch the movie, but here's the thing. He's really more. He's a villain of a more children-oriented movie. So he is over the top. He is kind of goofy in his menacingness. There are cool developments like him eventually just going feral at the end and stuff like that. But he's supposed to be this super genius. But at the end of the day, he does a lot of very dumb and silly things. So it's a little bit of his geniusness mostly is based on Basil just pointing out how genius he is and that he bested him so far. Mm-hmm. But it's like, really? Ratigan produced a super over-the-top, silly death trap, and then Basil comes in with a galaxy mind move to and time shit to the microsecond to play the death trap against itself. Sorry, one of them is objectively far smarter than the other one, and how Basil has not defeated Ratigan at this point. He kept him around for entertainment, let's be honest.
Yeah, Charlie put it best, I think. Ratigan is a cartoon villain, Rourke is a villain in a cartoon.
Oh, yeah. That is a good.
So some claps for Charlie. That's actually you get good points. Also,
we are going to steal this line probably a few times through today's episode.
Also, thank you TF2 and Disney Lover for the $5 super chat. Who are you guys dressed up as? Do they match your personalities? Well, I think of the three
in
of
my
us,
case,
Max is just 1-for-1. I'm surprised he's never dressed up as Cusco IRL for Halloween.
I'm also very lazy. I'm also very lazy, just like Couscous. So making this costume, and I'm vain like Couscous. So making this costume is either is probably a lot of effort, especially if I want to look good in it. So yeah.
But you can make Rocket Llama Cusco.
Ooh, that is nice.
But yes, I'm Jax from the Amazing Digital Circus. I don't know if I'm 1-for-1, but he does not have a nose, which fits my alien.
That is true.
I'm also. I
feel
also
like you also
think
have a
that.
penchant for the chaos while also being pretty level-headed in the middle of it. Like you like to see what happens if you say something and then letting it go.
I think also
of that
Jax's
So-
way of speaking is very much like mine, where I have a very even tone, where people think that
Yeah.
I'm just an asshole. And Lauren's a ghost.
I lived with a ghost once. That's as close as I think we could get to this.
I just thought that the idea of a little blanket ghost is just really funny.
It's like all these in these intricate costumes, intricate reasons, and then there's me.
I got a rock.
I'm like yeah.
I like to think that you had to make a costume that Prince John could still sit on, so
Yeah, he has. It's literally a bed sheet, so he just sits up there comfortably.
yeah,
It's
he's
like
sitting
he's
on
just
a mattress.
comfortable.
Denim just got here and she has missed the zombie ferret.
Okay, let me explain, Denim. So I decided I wanted to put a little thing on the table because it's spooky month. And Max is like, "Oh, you put a ghost ferret here. Like, oh, there's another ghost." And I did not understand. I'm so pissed. I'm still pissed off about that. I took the effort to delete the background of this image so I could have a little PNG on the table.
It's fitting! It is Halloween! I just pointed it out.
I'm glad that you make the joke and not me, because I feel like if I did it, it would be very tasteless. So, yeah. Anyways, back to the villains.
It's a very cute PNG. Can I say the positive thing then? It's a very cute PNG.
It really is.
Yeah.
I think I didn't know that there were pumpkins that small.
Himbo just was the cutest period.
Yeah.
And now we are stuck with the little shit who pooped and pissed on the floor today again.
I love Rocket. He's such a little shit. I love him so much.
He did it in front of the flat door while we were outside. Thankfully, it didn't
What a good
smear when we
boy.
came back in.
What a good boy.
Didn't smear.
He's such a good boy. I'm so proud of him. Now I'm really fitting into my Halloween costume.
Oh yeah, okay, actually yeah. In this context, you are a little bit of a Jax. Ass.
I'm sorry. I
You
like
checked
when
that.
I love when pets are little divas. Like Brett's family's new puppy, Princess, acts like such an entitled brat, and I'm always so proud of her. Anyways. So, next on our bracket, we have Dr. Facilier from Princess and the Frog. And Tamatoa from Moana. Lauren, you haven't gone first yet. And I know you like both of these characters.
Oh boy. Well, I'm gonna make this easy. One of them is literally nobody knew he was coming until he happened, which was fine. He had his little villain song, and then we didn't have to worry about him again. But then
Until
the
the
other
end.
one,
When he made fun of
Huh?
Sebastian.
yes, but then the other one, his present throughout the whole film is actually a threat throughout the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
Does his plan make 100% sense? Not exactly. But does he at least try? And does he actually almost succeed in what he's doing? Yeah. I mean, he gets halfway there at least. He gets the prince turned into a frog to basically help make his plan with the demons on the other side go into action. And I mean, he's literally friends with demons. Or I shouldn't even say friends. He's business partners with demons.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, he gets his comeuppance in the end because he was not a very good business partner.
Yeah?
But one of them is a crab that makes a David Bowie-esque musical number. And
Which is
isn't
a
threat
very
throughout the film.
important thing on the checklist.
Yeah.
So you're voting for Tamator.
I'm going with my boy here. I'm going with Dr. Facilier.
Okay.
What a twist! I did not see this coming after your line of argument.
Max, are you going to be the contrarian, or are you also
Richard
on the
Frillis.
Facilier train? Because I think out of the three of us, you are the only one who doesn't have a really strong connection to Princess and the Frog. I know that you
That's
like
true.
the movie, but you're not,
Yeah.
like, in love with it like me and Lauren are.
True. I believe I watched it twice or something. Moana maybe twice or three times. Also, not too often. So they're
I remember
both,
we went to the movie theater to see it just because we wanted to see how they would integrate. Because in Germany, in a lot of European countries, it wasn't called Moana. It was called Viana or something.
Yeah, some copyright shenanigans.
And it was actually, like, really well done of, like, how they, changed the name, given that, like, 3 songs have the name Moana in it.
And it was in English. We watched it also in English,
Yeah,
obviously.
we watched it
because
in
you
the
don't
English
speak
OVA,
German.
and it was like, wow,
So,
good work.
There is a second English dub in existence.
That the only
where they
change is
just
that their
switched
name
out
is not
this
Moana.
Yeah, exactly. It's like cray. I mean, same thing as with Zootopia, where
Yeah, because it's Zootropolis in
Zoomania.
Europe, right?
or Zootropolis or Zoomania.
So, maybe both. I think in the UK it was called Zootropolis.
But again, copyright shenanigans.
I know, right?
But yeah, I guess we talk less about the movies and more about the villains, aren't we?
We've
So
already
yeah,
done our movie brackets before. Now it's characters.
it's true. Yeah, but you have a fair point. Facilier versus. Okay, you know what? To keep it exciting, I actually gonna go with the crab because you can make an argument like Facilier is doing the bigger things and whatnot, but Tamator is basically on the level of one of his friends on the other side. Yeah, in the context of going up against Maui, another, I'm not sure if he's the context of the movie a half god, a god, but
He's a demigod.
Of he's a demigod. Exactly. Oh yeah, right. He actually has a lyric about.
Yeah,
this
in
But
Shiny,
yeah,
it's like
Tamator-
the demigod can beat a technopod. Look it up, you know that part.
Yeah, but yeah, and Tamatora himself is also some kind of obviously not celestial being because he's under the sea. But yeah, he is on the power level that Facilier would have to, would summon him or make a pact with him. Now, Facilier is a warlock and Tamator is a fucking deity. He is sworn.
He's a
he has a
summon,
pact.
yeah.
He has to make the pact. No, not a summon. He's the one he has a pact with. So that's why I say like maybe in their scale, in the scale of their movie, like Facilier is in a movie about humans and human interactions, and there the warlock is kind of the big one on the street. But Tamator is a god entity in a god movie. So just for power levels alone, I say Tamator.
You actually make a great point.
I'm sorry.
I know, this is actually difficult because for anyone who knows me, I mean, Lauren's known me for how many years now, sis? Like 14 or 15?
15.
Yeah, and I remember us gushing about Princess and the Frog when it came out. But also, anyone who knows me knows how much I love Moana. I almost went like AC Race Best Zootopia levels with that movie with how many times I saw it. So I love both of these movies, and I love both of these characters. Ooh, okay. But yeah, by power level, Tamatoa is objectively the more powerful one. However, I would make the argument that he's also a lot more avoidable than the Shadow Man. Because you can argue that Facilier, you know, does swindle people on the reg, and that Prince Naveen was like, his big one, but he did stuff beforehand. I mean, the guy who grew like a bunch of hair and stuff was one of his victims and everything. So I feel like he just, as being a human presence on the earth and not in an underwater pit, is more fearsome because stop clipping your nails, is more fearsome just because he can be around you. You could actually like walk up on him. I also feel like he has some more nefarious motivation because, you know, what's Tamatoa's motivation really? He wants to be shiny because that way he can get more fish. And then, like, the only time that he actually gets anything that has more grandeur than that is when the Heart of Tefiti is literally at his feet. Meanwhile, Facilier wants to get all the souls of everyone in New Orleans. Like, that's pretty dark. So, they're close.
See, basically the same motivation. Eh? One wants fish, one wants souls. I totally would say on a villain criteria scale, this is identical.
Max, are you equating human souls with fish?
Are you not?
I'm gonna go with Facilier.
I'm glad I could help.
I mean, yeah, sure. Anyways, time for the hardest competition of all. Hold on, I gotta move Cusco and Y for a second. There we go. So next up, we have the most senseless beatdown of all time. We have Frollo versus Bowler Hat Guy.
We went with Bowler Hat Guy, not the Bowler Hat, right?
Yeah, we went with Bowler Hat Guy. We went with.
How did he beat Ralph?
Because Ralph isn't really a villain.
Because the audience got
really
really
more
pissy that
wins.
we had Ralph on here, even though I specified it was from Wreck-It Ralph 2.
It's like
But
he was just throwing a temper tantrum. The other, I mean, yeah, he's almost destroyed the internet for it. But you have to think the other one almost destroyed the entire world.
Yeah.
He was
Also,
a pansy.
Matthew,
Yes.
I do not want the word simp and Frollo in the same sentence. Like, unless it was changed to is because Frollo is a simp. A very.
Oh, he is.
I mean, you can argue he goes past simp and goes straight into incel. Like, but yeah, I mean, I almost want to argue for Bowler Hat Guy because I feel bad for him, but that's just pity. Because it's fucking Frollo. Like, do I need to make an argument?
It's really
Like,
not a fair fight, is it?
They all hated me. Like, I'm sorry, but Frollo is like, you know, a maniacal, corrupt a Christian who uses his religion as justification to get what he wants or to suppress the things he doesn't understand or doesn't like. He will burn down Paris because someone gave him a fucking boner. Like,
He said the same thing twice.
But, like, yeah. Meanwhile, Bowler Hat Guy, I mean, he did get a T-Rex to work for him. That's impressive. Frollo didn't have a T-Rex. But like, you know, come on, it's Frollo. Do you guys have any arguments why Bowler Hat Guy should beat Frollo?
No.
Bowler Hat Guy is from the, well, actually not really a villain bracket. Of course he can't beat Frollo.
See, I thought you, the emperor of bullshit, would have came up with some reason.
Even my godlike powers have limits.
You know what? It's okay, Bowler Hat Guy. It's okay. You know, you got adopted at the end of your movie. You're okay now.
You were just a little bit more of a real villain than Ralph.
Yes, you were a little bit more of a real villain. But hey, with that, we got through this part of the left bracket.
Indeed.
In under an hour.
Woo!
So now we go on to the right side.
Oh my.
Speaking of violent beatdowns. Hold on, I gotta move Cusco again. Man, Max, you are the person who wears a hat to the movie theater. Like,
Yeah. And I
Why
make
don't
it
you-
everybody else's problem.
get cozy with Prince John and the Ghost. There you
Oh
go.
my. Hello. How are you doing?
Look at you. You guys look so uncomfortable. Boo.
Hi.
Booyah. Oh. Ooh.
Anyways, so we have Ursula versus Clayton. Max, you want to take this one? You were the first at the top left. Now you can be the first on the top right.
Huzzah! I mean, you made it sound like it is calling it an absolute beatdown. So you're that sure that Ursula is going to win, aren't you?
It's fucking Ursula, man.
And I mean, the fact that I already knew who you were thinking was the obvious winner says something now, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm. But what? Do you have an argument for Clayton?
No. I mean, he's basically just a pity greedy man who is a little bit willing to, go a big way for profit. I mean, that's it. He's there to hunt exotic animals, kill them, and if somebody gets in the way of his profit, he's also not above murder. Compare this to Ursula, who is a sea witch, to come back to power levels. But okay, she is a sea witch in a movie where everybody's a little bit magical, except for the trophy prince. Clayton is a dude in a movie full of dudes. So the power level comparison, context needs to be taken into account. But even if we take context into account and go for motives and pity, motives and determination and evilness or villainous, so to speak. I mean, there are certain parallels. Both of them are deceptors. Deceptors? Is this the word I'm looking for? They deceive.
The deceptive. They both excel at deception.
Yeah, but what are the people? Deceptors?
Deceivers.
Deceivers! See, I had the feeling that deceptors were wrong. They're both deceivers, as in, like, they hide their true intentions. Ursula in being there for all those poor unfortunate souls, while Clayton is just like, I'm your guide, I'm looking out for you and protecting you from all the wild animals. But he's a little bit pathetic in it. He is just a dude with a gun and greed and anger.
He's Gaston with more initiative.
Yeah, but less charm. While Ursula is like a presence. Yeah.
You know, she knows the power of body language.
Indeed. So, yeah, my vote goes to Ursula.
All right, Ghost. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, it's funny because I was gonna say earlier, Rourke is like what Clayton could have been. Because it's like they're both very much, again, money-driven, power-driven. Like, I don't care who or what I kill to get what I want.
Mm-hmm.
And except Rourke is actually he is closer to a real threat than what Clayton is. I mean, Clayton has his little army of men and stuff like that, but I mean, it's like, again, he's not as multi-dimensional. He doesn't have a whole lot of facets to him besides that. Rourke actually kind of has more layers to him, even if you can know where he stands. He is a more real villain, like somebody you would actually see doing something like this than I feel like Clayton is,
arguably
where
he's just like, doing his job. Yeah,
it's like, and with Clayton, it's like he feels like a cartoon version of like one of those poacher types, you know. It's which I mean he is, but I mean it's you get my point. It doesn't feel like
a Disney Captain Planet villain if they did like an animal conservation episode.
Like Rourke had more nuance and subtlety in how he carried himself out until he had his reveal, which I mean anybody could be like, well, it wasn't really a reveal. I could see he was kind of being an asshole, but I guess it was the matter of how far he would go that's what really came as the shock to more people. Meanwhile, Ursula, she feels like she has her reasons to do what she does too, but it isn't like, oh, this is just my job. Like she is manipulative. She makes deals, and it's fun, and that's the best part too, is knowing when you have somebody like when you have any of these villains in the lineup that say, I'll make a deal with you, and you think about how like the only one who's actually ever true to their deals is Hades, because he is like going, look, I'm gonna make this a fair shake. We have a deal. We'll be bound to that. She goes, I'll make a deal with you, and then she does everything to try and undermine that deal to make it still work. Then she just becomes
the hotter version of Ariel and steals her man.
Yeah, it's like she steals her voice and steals her man. Which is a whole twist too on the original Little Mermaid tale, which was, I mean, again, we already know how tragic that one is. So, actually kind of feels a very vindictive move to pull too, don't you think?
Yeah.
Like, what if that other girl was like literally just minding her own business, and then he happened to fall in love with her, and then Ariel's just like, people who so heavily sympathized with Ariel were like, you know what? Yeah, that other girl was a bitch, and just turned her into. I'm like, oh,
screw Eric's autonomy and happiness. I want the redhead to be happy.
Yeah, it's like. So anyway, back to Ursula. At the end of the day, she is definitely more of like, this is who you imagine being like mean, vindictive, and still feeling like she's justified in doing what she does. Like she feels like she's like, I know there's always going to be the interpretations of she's been slighted somehow. She was banished, and for what? She was a witch, was she banned for her witchcraft? What'd she do with her witchcraft that caused her to be banned?
Was it because of her crazy sister?
Her Ursula's crazy sister. Who's also voiced by Pat Carroll, so it makes it that much more confusing. Anyway, I think, long story short, Ursula's a stronger villain type between the two, because the other one, again, like, yeah, he feels like a very one-dimensional villain, whereas I feel like I get a lot more questions with Ursula, because you go, why does she feel like she's justified in what she does? Why does she feel like she deserves what Triton has? Why does she? It's like, Clayton, he's like, he's doing his job, and he's an asshole, and he'll kill gorillas for it. So it's like,
oh my god, Charlie's got it right. Clayton is just man. No,
yeah, that's what I said.
Because I feel like we talked about this in the first round of this whole thing, was that the Wikipedia listed man, like, from Bambi.
From Bambi.
And we were like, no, that's stupid. We're not putting Clayton's just that. It's just instead of Bambi, it's a gorilla.
Yeah, he's man with a face and a voice. That is really what he is.
What time period is Bambi supposed to take place in? Can we Tarzan Frozen timeline this? That Clayton was the one who killed Bambi's mom and then went to Africa.
I would say it was Victorian era for Tarzan. And then Bambi is darn near 100-year-old. I think it is a 100-year-old story, actually.
Clayton killed Bambi's mom! That is my film theory. Matt Pat, do not steal this unless you want to give me credit.
So anyway.
But yes, Ursula wins.
What a twist. I did not see this coming. Oh no!
Before we get to the next one, give me one moment. You two vamp for the audience for a bit. I'll put the group shot with the ghost ferret, apparently. I'll be right back.
Yeah. Nice weather here in the studio today. How is the air under your blanket?
It's good. It's cool, refreshing. How about yours? How's the breeze going through the tunic?
Wait, what?
I said, how's the breeze going through the tunic? If I'm under a
Oh,
sea, so are you.
It's a nice fresh breeze down there, I tell you. I wear it authentic style, if you get my drift.
Yeah, has anybody ever wondered that before this moment? If he's wearing
All right,
if he's
Rabbit
wearing
is back.
anything under there.
Apparently, and yeah, Lauren brought the topic to my underwear, or the leg thereof.
What?
He asked how's the air under my sheets? I'm like, all right, I'll do you one. Oh, how's the air under the tunic?
I mean, okay. Would you go commando if you wore a Cusco outfit?
Probably, I'm the emperor. I can do whatever I want.
Cusco does wear underwear under his tunics. He has little boxers with his faces on them.
Does it happen in the movie though?
It happens
Sounds
in the
like
show
something
that
for
is
the show,
made
yeah,
by the person who
exactly.
made the movie.
Well, I wouldn't even say that was by the same people. They cast the same people. I mean,
No.
He's
The
not
Emperor's New
wrong.
School was directed and created by by the Emperor's New Groove director.
oh, well,
Yeah, it surprisingly had a lot of the movie crew on it. I
Oh,
know
okay.
that is hard to believe. But
Well.
But yes, so I will have you all know, to contribute to this conversation, there is no underwear under these overalls.
What?
Which, let me tell you, I'm thinking about that kind of texture, and that sounds so uncomfortable.
like, is it like
There is no
like denim?
universe
Are they
where that
like
would be a
denim
comfortable
overalls? Or are they
situation.
corduroy? What are they? What's the material on those?
I assume like corduroy or something like that.
Oh, that's got it. Yeah.
Oh, that's so much chafing. Absolutely not. Anyways, now that everyone knows we are butterball ass naked under our costumes.
Oh yeah, you know it, baby.
Oh, I needed that laugh. Anyways, so in our next matchup, we have Madame Medusa from the Rescuers. I am a professional little rabbit boy. Okay. Madame Medusa from the Rescuers, and no one like Gaston.
So we have a second round of mythical creature versus man incarnate.
Would you say
I mean,
Medusa is mythical?
Just going
She's
by the
not.
name.
Well,
Okay.
Only
she
in
had-
name.
Yeah, she has the name, Ursula has the body. Excuse me, not everybody can have all mythological up and down.
Sorry. I don't want to go back to the naked thing. I just want to say, I really like Matthew's message in the chat. Chrissy is naked? It's like, well, we're all naked under our clothes. Believe it or not. Like,
I'm not.
after so many layers, you do get to
Like,
the skin.
hate to break this to you all, but
Yeah, you are all naked under your clothes right now. Like, I know that's like the equivalent of saying you are now aware of your own breathing, but like...
they're going, oh,
Oh, great. I just forgot about it. Gee, thanks. No, this is stuck in my head again.
God. Anyways, so I'm gonna start this one out. I'm gonna go with Gaston. Look, I mean, like, Madame Medusa, terrible person, abusive foster parent, I guess, of the kid. And that's putting it in the lightest terms. You know,
You know who the true villain is of Rescuers?
What, the foster family system?
Exactly.
Okay.
This system paired her up with an innocent child for the money. So Medusa is just an opportunist who stole a diamond at some point.
Exactly. I mean, that also
she
goes
used a
into
child to
opportunist,
steal
I
a
guess.
diamond.
I'm just saying, if a diamond was just right in front of me, it's like, I would pick it up. I've played Minecraft. I know the importance of it.
It makes surprisingly
that
good
is your
armor.
first takeaway.
Yeah, that's my take.
So-
It was either I was gonna say I've seen Steven Universe or I have played Minecraft. But point being, Medusa's just kind of a dude. You know, a lady dude. But Gaston...
A dudette.
A dudette, thank you. The Gaston is such a terrifying thing because Madame Medusa doesn't need to convince anyone that she's like a good altruistic person. Gaston is loved by the entire village. And there's no real moment where he's not loved. I feel like I've made the same argument when he was against Maleficent. So it is heightened with someone who's not as powerful like Madame Medusa. I think it's terrifying when your villain is adored, you know?
Yes.
You know, like probably what King Magnifico is going to be in Wish. You know, he's adored by the people, which makes him that much more threatening, because how do you convince people to go on your side of the cause? So yeah, my vote's with Gaston. What about you, little scary ghost kid?
I'm with you on this too, because Medusa, she's kind of like an isolated incident. Yes, there is an instance of her like where she's, you know, manipulating and abusing a child to do what she wants, right? But that's an isolated incident compared to the mass scale of influence that Gaston has. He's already, like, the movie opens up, he is well loved and adored by the village, and he is you know, renowned for his hunting abilities, which already makes him, like, you could already tell. If somebody's, like, priding myself on all my trophies and, you know, parading around like, I'm gonna marry this chick who has zero interest in me, but I don't fucking care because she's because I will force her that. And then even so, will go to dangerous lengths to get what he wants, to manipulate and convince, and going like, literally gonna, like, I'll throw your dad into the insane asylum unless you marry me. Okay, excuse me, sir? But the thing is, nobody battles him on that either. Even when he does that, even when he claims, like, you know, her father's crazy, let's throw her in the asylum, nobody questions him. Nobody does. They just do it. And he throws money. He can throw, I don't know where he gets the money. I guess he gets money from his trophies.
I mean, all the antler, he definitely helps
uses antlers
like,
in all his
the
decorating.
antler decorating industry.
So I'm like, I'm sure that's, again, if he's an accomplished hunter, I'm assuming he'd have to sell his kills, and that's where he gets lots of money. So he has money, influence, and he is liked. So that is far more fearful and intimidating, because he is very real. He is far more of a, like, somebody you would imagine going, like, if you were to speak up about something, nobody would listen to you if this is who you were up against. It's the popularity contest of who is the more liked person, and thereby the popular vote is gonna go to that person, because they are, like, the public perception is, he's a well-adored, loved guy, big macho man. He's, you know, life of the party.
Macho man.
And but the thing is, yes, of course, his downfall is his ego.
Yeah, Max?
And
he is the high school quarterback who is still in his social standing after high school.
I was going to say, he
And
peaked in high school. This is the guy who peaked in high school.
And there is nothing more scary.
Gaston peaked in high school.
He never left his hometown.
But he kept it going. But he
was
kept
the,
it
he was the
going.
high school quarterback. He never left his hometown.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, he's the guy who peaked in high school. He's the high school quarterback. That was his... He's Buck Cluck. But way more of an egotist.
Oh, no. It fits with the village. Like, when you live in a small town and you were the high school quarterback, yeah, when the town has no achievements besides you. There you go.
Yeah. So anyway, Gaston for the win, because...
You just made him sound pathetic. Now I'm suddenly with Medusa.
What?
No,
okay.
That's the thing, is
okay,
it's still intimidating to be up against somebody who has that influence, even if, because especially in a small town setting. And I'm like, if that's all you knew, especially, where do you know if the next province is to this town, right? Where Belle lives. She'd have to go miles and miles and miles out there. So it's going like, if that's all you have, that's scary. Nobody's there to help you. Also,
she's
scary.
a self-made woman. # girl boss. But gross. But yeah, Max, you want to make an argument for Madame Medusa?
I mean, I technically I meant this the idea of imagine somebody in the social position of a high school quarterback, but out there in the real world, like nerds, which I considered scary until you played it back against me, and were like, yeah, he is just this pathetic, like a high school quarterback who never left his hometown. But no, I to bring it back to the point that we all know the high school movies where the douchey quarterback is like the barely defeatable villain, but now extrapolate this to adulthood. Somebody who is, as an adult, on this level of influence, untouchability, and just loveness. This is a scary thought, no? This is a what kids think is the most scariest thing in the world is now actually here in real life with real influence. So, on the other hand, we have Madame Medusa, who is she's a small-time criminal. No, she landed a big heist. She has a creepy pet. That is like, okay, point for creepy pet. What does Gaston have? Do you count the guy as well?
LeFou. That's his creepy pet.
Exactly. No, what does Gaston have? LeFou. But poor guy. But yeah, that's the thing. Like, no, she gets a point for a creative, creepy lizard pet, and what else does she have going? She has her own boat. That's nice. Have you even made your point yet, Chrissy?
Oh, I said that my vote was for Gaston.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well,
and then Lauren voted for Gaston.
I guess it's unanimous again then.
No one wins like Gaston.
Like Gaston.
Beats women like Gaston.
Oh, we will see if he will continue this trend,
we don't
because
have to see
he's
that
up.
to know that.
He is up against a woman again.
Well, I mean, like, here's oh yeah, he's going to be against Ursula. Oh my god, back-to-back movies too. Well, technically back-to-back, because wasn't Rescuers at Down Under in between these two?
Yes.
It's basically back-to-back. But
Now,
this one's going to be a
one.
hard one. Jafar versus Cruella de Vil. Ooh.
Two fashion icons, I should say.
Very much so.
Then let's get the fashion icon to give a vote. Max, who do you think?
You see, I personally think Jafar is very, very misunderstood. No, he tried just to do the best, but the people.
You can't
but I can try.
You can't use the version where the
your way out of
Sultan
this.
inverted his penis as a source.
Well, okay. Now here's again a thing of what is difficult to balance against each other is a question of power levels versus given in the context. I mean, on a first glance, Jafar is literally a wizard. Even before he gets his power-ups later on, he is a wizard. He is pretty cunning. He is also doing the entire Two-Face thing, which we considered a positive trait before. But he is also living in a literal magical kingdom. He is living in 1001... 101 nights? 1001 nights.
Yeah.
In the world of 1001 nights, where if you are not a wizard, you are either a hero or a background character. On the other hand, we have Cruella de Vil, who is, on surface level, just a lady. A well-off lady, so she's kind of evil female Batman. What's your superpower? Money. Is she also running she's just fashionable in the original cartoon, right?
No,
she's not running a fashion empire.
No, she has she's successful. She has a fashion industry.
Is she a fashion? Okay. I wasn't sure.
In the original, look, I know that the
I was trying to remember if she was a fashion designer in the original version. I knew she
she's
was
in
in
fashion,
but
she is
a
in the
designer?
original version. She's
Okay.
not she doesn't have the tragic backstory of Dalmatians killing her parents in the original movie.
Oh no, I know that. Because Dalmatians killed my grandma. Okay.
No, but in the first live action, she was
the
officially
superior
running.
live action movie.
The time when Disney live action adaptations actually had a creative spark to them and were meaningful and not just shovelware. But yeah.
Point being, Cruella.
Point being, Cruella. But yeah. Then again, but then again, what is she the villain in? She is the villain in a movie from the point of view of pets. I mean, you could argue that that an evil human is almost more threatening to dogs than a wizard within the world of 1001 Nights. So. Still tricky. I guess I go. All this rambling so far was basically to point out that the power level is kind of irrelevant if you take context of their world they are in or their story they are in into account, and you always should. So I would actually go with Cruella.
Really? Okay.
Yes. She is more, but due to a very a point that I can completely understand if you want to challenge it, because the point is that she is basically a more pure evil villain. Like Jafar has he's cunning, he's another deceiver character. He's actually getting very close to winning if you think about it. If he wouldn't have gotten outsmarted last minute, he had already won. Just his hubris made him fall, which now I'm almost about to talk myself into Jafar after all. But
no takesies back.
I also
Cruella.
Fair. That is fair. But I will not be sad if Jafar wins for all the very good arguments I just made in his favor. But Cruella is just like such a beautiful, pure villain. Pure evil villain? While just being a human in a car. She has such a presence. While Jafar at moments is like kind of dorky, gets a little bit of underdog. He has to throw down his smoke bomb to get away from being arrested. I mean, as much as he almost won, he also almost lost. And then he has his breakdown where he just laughs manically. But not in an evil way, but more in I'm losing my mind kind of way. While Cruella has her glowing eyes moment where she is like more menacing, more threatening than the fucking devil in Fantasia. So if you're looking for facets and intrigue and whatnot, Jafar has probably more to offer, more layers and shit. But Cruella de Vil is just so fun as a villain.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna go next because I've broken way too many tiebreakers so far. So I'm gonna go with Jafar. I'm gonna go with Jafar because, like, if we went by power level irrelevant, Cruella is more personally cruel because she just wants to kill fucking puppies for a coat.
Yeah.
Like, and that's awful. However, Jafar is, to me, a lot worse of a villain just because how many plans he seems to have in motion. Because, let's be real, before, even when he initially thought he lost a lamp, he had a pretty solid plan to just hypnotize the Sultan to order Jasmine to marry him. which would have worked if Prince Ali didn't come in. Like, if it wasn't for Aladdin, at least one of Jafar's plans would have worked. And I feel like, you know, when he has his maniacal breakdown and everything like that, and you could see how snake-like he can be, he was a terrifying presence, especially when he became, like, the giant snake and the giant genie, and if you want to throw in Return of Jafar into it, like, he's kind of terrifying because, yeah, he can't kill people, but you'd be surprised at what you can live through. But I just think that Jafar, there's just something also with how calm he is, because that's the big thing, personality, right? Because Cruella is very, oh darling, everything's awful, let me blow smoke in your face, you know, that kind of attitude. Very Radigan, honestly. While Jafar is always so calm and level-headed, which I find to be even creepier, because, like, you know, when you're that calm and level-headed about the terrible shit you do, that you could see someone get eaten by a giant sand tiger head and not even blink,
Yeah.
is nuts. And, you know, when you have a sidekick like a Iago to offset that, you realize just how calm he is. So, yeah, my vote's for Jafar. I would not want to be in a room alone with Jafar. At least I feel like I could have an entertaining time being in a room with Cruella.
That is very true.
Oh yeah,
for
also Jafar just went full mafia on Aladdin at one point by just trying to drown him.
Yeah.
Like, he had plans on top of plans on top of plans. Cruella was very hyper-focused of just, I want the puppies. Give me the puppies. I'm gonna kill the puppies.
She has a fetish and she needs to feed it.
Exactly. Well, Lauren, you are a little tiebreaker. Is it going to be Jafar or Cruella de Vil?
It's really hard on this case.
Yeah, welcome to
well
my
played,
world.
Keith.
It's like, yeah.
We
on
have an
the
even
one
harder
hand,
decision after this one. So.
I've already been thinking about that one. So
Focus on the current one.
Yes, I know. Yeah, I mean, you do have one that has magic at his disposal. Magic and manipulation, and uses magic for manipulation.
And he climbs on
before
rocks.
Before he even has the lamp, he has power of his own to a degree. I don't know if it's alchemy. I don't know if it's what, because he does have a lab. He basically has a lab that I'm going like. How
he has a
what's he
lab
doing?
with like seeing sands, and let's not forget the fucking hypno staff that he just has.
Yep. Yeah, like going, why would you need a lamp when you can literally hypnotize and manipulate people at any point? I mean, the Sultan, look, the Sultan, I'm like, I love the Sultan. You know what? I'm like, yeah, look. And he's the one that changes the laws by the end. Jafar doesn't set out to make any lives better for anybody else other than himself. So let's be real. Like, the Sultan's not perfect, but he does rectify what is a messed up law by the end. So, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Both are very self-serving villains. One is sadistically so, and the other is like, well, world domination and breaking into puns while doing so. But he's also not afraid to kill either. Yeah. But he's also not afraid to kill to get what he wants, even if it means killing the same person, or so he thinks is killing the same person over and over and over again. Going like, why won't you die? So, meanwhile with Cruella, yeah, I'm like, I'm gonna say it again. She has a fetish. She's like, I live for furs, I worship furs. I'm like, do you and the furs need a room? I mean,
it's like the scene in the second live action 101 Dalmatians movie where you, like, after she finally has her mental breakdown, starts seeing everything as black and white spots, she just opens up the cellar of furs and starts like roll
like
so
she can get the room.
Like,
I'm like, that's where I go, I don't know, man. And I'm like, she's got some things to work through.
She needs therapy. Jafar needs to be in a
y'all
lamp.
need furs, you need therapy. Yeah, It's really tough because again, yeah, one wants to. What I can argue at the very least, while she wants to skin and kill puppies, she doesn't succeed in doing so. Jafar succeeds in what he does. I mean, to the point until he's taken down, right? He does actually succeed in what he sets out to do.
He succeeds until he
doesn't. He
doesn't.
gets the lamp. He takes over the kingdom. He becomes sultan. He becomes a powerful genie, even if that's his undoing. And even if he was tricked into that answer, he literally does get what he wants. He succeeds in it. He's only undone by by the
himself, honestly.
Well, I mean, it's by a street rat trick. So that's what it is.
But and also,
in his word. So
yeah, and I do want to point out, Jafar, if we compared it to, he does a lot of stuff on his own. Like the amount of Iago only really helps him once with imitating Jasmine's voice at one point, but he disguises himself as the guy in the jail cell. He's the one who hypnotizes the Sultan. The only 2 times that he really needed someone to do stuff for him was, before he got the genie. Was
the Cave of Wonders.
Was getting the guards to hit Aladdin over the head, and Iago imitating Jasmine. Like, he's a very hands-on villain too.
Yeah,
and handsy. Stop touching Jasmine.
So I'm gonna actually have to go with Jafar on this round. I mean, again, he's a villain that does actually succeed in what he does, and he is willing to go to extreme lengths.
This is all your fault, Jafar.
As I said, I have no problem with this development.
Extreme therapy.
All right. The most important battle of them all. I am gonna feel so bad for whoever has to go against Jafar after this one. So,
either way, they're getting
Lauren,
roasted, so we're just picking the sacrificial lamb.
Lauren, I was cruel to you to make you the tiebreaker last round. You get to go first.
Alrighty, let's see. So, on the one hand...
What does your little ghost hand pick?
I can't believe I'm like...
Yokai versus Buck Cluck.
The bad dad battle.
Really is. Wow, the top left was the bad mothers, and now this one's the bad fathers.
It all came around.
It all came around.
I have interesting points to bring up on both here. Yokai, first of all, for a white guy to don basically a Japanese
he is the cultural
mask.
Appropriator villain.
Yes, oh my God.
Whoa, that makes it the worst of all. He has already beaten Jafar.
His new villain name should be I am the Appropriator.
Worse than Jafar. What culture did Jafar appropriate? A beggar in a prison?
But that's not.
If we want to be specific, he is an Arabic character voiced by a very, very white man.
But this brings us back to
So is
Disney
a lot of the people in that movie.
Yeah,
so was a lot of villains. This was during a time of very, very colorblind casting.
Is this our secret challenger that comes in after the finale?
Just
like
the concept.
Walt Disney himself.
It's Walt Disney's head in a jar. just get a future. God, they've had to have Disney's head in a jar in Futurama at some point, right?
They must have.
So you know what? I'm gonna say it here. So you could have Yokai who literally was like, his own choices killed somebody.
Yeah, that was his mistake to make.
That was his mistake. Yep. But at the same time, he was, at least when I can't believe I have to say this. Mm-hmm. At least when he was doing what he was doing, he was incredibly misguided in doing it. Incredibly misguided. But at least he was trying to be a better father than Buck Cluck.
Wow. The murderer is still better than Buck Cluck.
What? So look.
The worst part is I kind of agree.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. At least Yokai... Look, I'm going to just refer to it by the villain name anyway. Yokai at least tried to do things for the sake of his missing daughter, who he thought was dead, right?
Yeah.
Buck Cluck has a very much alive
Buck was just
son.
abusive because he didn't want the town to be mean to him.
Yeah, this was the guy who peaked in high school, never left his hometown, and he's a wuss when it comes to defending his only kid, the only remnant he had of his wife, who, at this point I go, like, if he loved her so much, why doesn't he love his kid? You know, the one remnant he has of her, you know?
Yeah,
I'm
you know,
like,
the kid
you would
who's
think
also...
you'd be a little bit more supportive of your kid, and especially if you really cared about your wife that much. And the kid's not bad or anything. He's a well-meaning kid. It's just a little socially awkward. It's okay. He's fine.
And, like, let's not forget, canonically in that movie, Chicken Little's named after his dad, and the dad refuses to call Chicken Little by his actual name.
Yeah.
So, like...
And so it's like, so I'm saying that...
Happy Father's Day!
Yeah, that Buck Cluck... Fathers are there for you and the sky is falling. Not this one! We'll never forget that post.
Never forget. Never forget where you were.
Where were you when the Buck Cluck Father's Day poster?
That's terrible.
Anyway, I can't believe... look, both are bad. And you could argue that the other one is objectively worse because he's got blood on his hands. But you at least it's like, oh, I don't agree with your methods, but I at least understand where you're coming from. You're incredibly misguided in what you're doing, but I get why you're doing it.
It's nuanced blood.
Is a pathetic guy. He's like, he doesn't stand up for his kid. He can barely stand up for anybody other than himself. And even then, he's just doing it to save his own face. He doesn't care. He doesn't really care. And by the end, when he's like going, I'm sorry, I felt like my respect was something you had to earn. My love and respect was something you had to earn. I'm like, you literally let him live his whole life thinking that. You think that one split second apology and a nice little hug, you think that's gonna fix all that? No.
You don't even say I love you at any
point.
point.
Family counseling. They go fix that. It's like, like
all right.
I'm just like, anyway, roast the chicken.
So, Max, do you have any counterpoints? Because I'm also kind of on the fuck Buck train.
I mean,
make any arguments for the appropriator?
I mean, first of all, he is a cultural appropriator, as we already established. But no, you see, Buck Cluck, I'm also referring to him by his villain name. He is, you see, same line of thinking that I have brought up like 2 or 3 times by now. Look at them in the context of their movie. So, the appropriator is, he is a superpowered villain who then again, he doesn't actually actively kill. I mean, he wants to kill somebody, but he even fails at that. But no, he's almost back to petty thief because it's not even his invention. No, he stole an invention and then he uses it to steal more stuff. It's like very unimaginative, and his motivation, as Lauren pointed out, is, I don't want to call it heroic, but it is at least its motivation is less villainous. I mean, there are good desperation. Yeah, there are good villains who get motivated by a backstory that could just as well have been the one of a hero, just that they handle it differently and better. But yeah, he is a dude with he's a villain in a superhero movie, which is like, yeah, you expect him to have some kind of power, obviously, because otherwise, what would the superheroes have to do? No, but Buck Cluck is an antagonistic character in a high school movie, and he is even the seasoned quarterback. So he was a villainous archetype in his childhood, and now as a father, he still is it. So yeah, Buck Cluck versus Gaston. Let's see who is better, the original or.
I just want to show how beautiful this matchup is right here.
Yeah. As I said, Buckluck versus Gaston.
The amount of genuine fear that people are having right now that we somehow get Buck into the finals is very palpable. They know our brand at this point. But yes.
If I may say, looking at the face-off between Jafar and Buckluck, who wants chicken nuggets?
Who wants chicken nuggets? But yes, folks, we are now at the semifinals, right? This is semi. Yes. We are at the semifinals, which is Mother Gothel versus Rourke, Basilier versus Frollo, Ursula versus Gaston, and Jafar versus Buckluck. Ladies and gentlemen, and they, them.
Why?
We have the final 8.
Excuse me, why is every single one of those lineups a super-powered one versus a normie?
I mean, anthropomorphic chicken is kind of teetering on normie, but, like...
In his world, he's just a dude.
To manipulate people?
Yes, I mean, like, I guess Frollo may have the power of God on his side. I have the power of God and anime on my side. But yeah, this is. I don't know how we got to this conclusion that every single one
having an
has
Esmeralda body pillow.
The Esmadaki. The thing is that, you know how Dockies have, like, 2 different sides? I'm imagining Esmeralda on one side and, like, Phoebus on the other, with Phoebus just being full bare ass on the other side.
I have Phoebus on the other side.
Oh, God. But yes. Let's go?
Let's go.
Well, back to the top left with Gothel versus Rourke. We have to start it like we start every top. Max. Who are you voting for our first matchup of the final 8?
And here I thought I would be the okay, but apparently I keep my position as semi.
God, we were just talking about Dockies. God. We're awful.
We are getting all this stuff out today. No, I would actually say Gothel at this point. I mean, as much positive as we had to say about Atlantis Dude, he is he is in his own right. He is an asshole. He's scrupulous. He's a backstabber, a little bit of a manipulator, but Gothel does all this, but more. Mm-hmm. Like, she is more of a deceiver. She is more of a backstabber. She is more of an asshole. And her motivations are even with immortality. Her goals are like, she is doing all of this to Rapunzel just as a means to an end, because she probably wants to do something with her immortality. It's not just enough to be to just hang around and be immortal. No, she's probably doing more of it. He wants money. Cool, money. So I would say on a villain battle, and that's what it's about. She is the more intriguing villain who has more villainy going on for her.
Yeah, I agree. And I'm also going to put my vote with Gothel, because here's the thing. Rourke never hides the fact that he's an asshole. Gothel plays pretend that she's a loving mother, which I think is worse. Like, I respect someone who's just, from the get-go, just says, hey, I'm an asshole. Have a good day. Like, but Gothel, you know, she plays pretend. She's like, I love you most, while pointing at Rapunzel's hair and not Rapunzel herself. Which I think is just worse. So I think, that goes into the whole thing of she's just everything and more with manipulation. Like, I feel like it's much worse when the person plays to your sensibilities and emotions. Rourke doesn't play to any emotions. Rourke is just, he knows his position of power because he's literally like an army sergeant. So, he doesn't hide his dick. Gothel, however, hides that soul dick.
Hides her dick.
Yeah,
she hides her dick.
Exactly. Until it's time to be the bad guy. So yeah, my vote's with Gothel. Do we hear any objections from the ghost?
No objections. I mean, that's pretty much everything I would have said.
Well, there we go. That very easy choice here. Welcome Gothel to the final four. Oh, this one's gonna be tough. They both have hats. I didn't think that would get you, of all things that I've said today.
I mean, secretly, I was always just voting for the hat in all battles we had so far. I mean, how did Frollo get so far? No? He had an opponent with a hat, but he has a fancier hat, so...
That's true.
Did anybody with a hat lose up to this point against somebody with no hat?
Let's see. Bowler hat guy beat Ralph. Frollo beat...
But he has a hat himself.
Yes, he has a hat.
Oh no, look. King Candy lost. But then again, Yzma
Rourke beat Radigan. Radigan has a hat.
Oh. Okay,
And Gothel
so much
beat
for
Yzma, and Yzma has a headdress, which is basically a hat.
Yeah, and Ursula beat Captain Hook. Yeah, okay, and
Clayton beat
the next, yeah,
the colonizer. So yeah, this entire argument became moot.
Yes, yeah. My one conspiracy theory that didn't turn out true.
But yes, so Lauren, you're our resident Disney adult. Sorry, I didn't mean to insult you like that. But you're a resident Disney, big Disney fan. Facilier versus Frollo. Throw out the first vote.
On the one hand, you have Facilier, who sets out to take over the entirety of New Orleans and God knows how much more else, but I think he at least knows as far as New Orleans. To take all the souls of the living. To give to his business partners on the other side. On the other hand, you literally have Frollo. So it's like...
My source, it's Frollo.
I'm like, you have a man who's in a position of power, who abuses that power, all under the guise of thinking he's doing what God intends, what God wants. And he's like, I am the law. That's another thing, too. He is not the separation of church and state. So there's that, too. So he
is the church and state.
Yeah, he is if you had zero separation between church and state, this is it. And that's why it's like going, big bad, don't do it.
Not kosher, not kosher.
I hate to tell you Americans something about the European history.
Oh, no.
No, I'm aware. That's why I said I'm like going... He is French.
Oh, don't. Yeah.
He's voiced by Tony J, but he's like...
technically he's a French man. But, so yeah, is your vote with, Mr...
Yeah, like, he burns down Paris because he gets turned on by somebody who's technically an underage girl.
That has never stopped any character in Disney, villain or heroes likewise.
That is true.
But he also kills Quasimodo's mother, and is about to kill Quasi himself, and then is only guilt-tripped by the church to spare the baby. And then he calls him like a thing for 20 years of his life. And he's like, maybe I can mold
he gives him a name
to
that
act how I want.
Half-formed.
Yeah, and he calls him that. Yeah, he calls him Quasimodo. He gives him the name that means half-formed.
I mean, come on. Maybe Frollo is just a fan of the Addams Family and was making a cheeky reference to the thing.
No, anyway.
Wow, she didn't even humor you with that one. Shit,
Nope.
man.
It's like, no, screw this guy. He's the worst guy. Let him go through. He's the worst.
All right. So, Emperor Max, what are you going to? Are you going to make this more difficult for me, or are you on the Frollo train?
Oh, making it more difficult for you. Good point. Huh. Well, I guess I have to go with Facilia then.
Weirdly enough, a lot of the chat's going with Facilier, which is shocking to me.
I mean, the thing is that no, when it comes to
the charm, it's this Gaston. It's the popularity.
Exactly. No, the thing is, like, even so, Facilia is technically. Oh no! Wait. Which direction did I want to argue again?
Facilier.
I wanted to argue
Facilier.
for Facilia to make it more difficult for you as my sole motivation. Can I do
You're
that?
so Cusco right now.
I am, aren't I? Torn between the making it more difficult for you.
And just saying your honest
there's
opinion.
Kind of. There's also the issue that due to Hunchback being a lot older, I actually had more exposure to it. While the Princess of the Frog, as we established earlier, didn't have this close of a relationship with it. Look! You played. You did it very well. You played the. You kind of tossed the bucket. No, do you toss the bucket down the road or up the road in this case by making me basically the predetermined me living through my own tie break in my head. No, but I think I still would say that just going by screen presence, maybe it's a thing that I was younger when I first encountered Frodo and he had more time to fortify his position in my brain. But his presentation, mostly his presence in the movie, I found, even without having any powers, more impressive than Facilier, who has so much power, and yet he has a little, like he has a fantastic musical number, which is like visually chef's kiss, and stellar voice acting and everything. But his presence still feels low-level crook, despite being one of two characters in this entire world that has magical powers, if I can recall correctly. There was him and there was a witch lady on the other end.
Yeah,
and the other people,
Mama Odie.
Yeah, and everybody else is just either people or animals. And yet he's a crook. He's a street crook somehow. His plans are bigger, but he didn't feel that big of a villain. What did he do? He turned the prince into a frog to get to his money. Wasn't this the big deal?
Yeah, he turned the prince into a frog to collect his blood, so that way the prince's crony can disguise as the prince and marry Charlotte, which would kind of connect to getting all the souls in New Orleans. They explain it better in the movie than I can.
Point being, but you even see how complicated. He has this very complicated thing where it's like, it's what was the line again? It's pure elegance in its simplicity. No, it's not. What are you talking about? So no, I guess as much as I like to make your life hard, my vote after all goes to Frodo.
Wow, I'm so disappointed in you, Max.
I know.
Because my vote was also going to be with Frollo. But to make an argument for Facilier, he's purple, and I'm purple.
Yeah, those are facts. Those are facts.
But there
Nah.
you go, folks. In the next round, it'll be Gothel versus God, 2 abusive parental figures.
Nice.
Oh boy.
Oh, oof. Oh, that's gonna be a fun debate.
And then in the finale, one of those 2 abusive parental figures will go up against Buck Gluck.
I don't know if the chat would forgive us if we got Buck to the finals. I mean, feel like that would
wouldn't
be
it
the
be-
moment
wouldn't
that
it be
the
the
chat
show
would be
who-
like, we need
Excuse
to talk.
me. I picked him over the appropriator. I am now committed to this bit.
You heard it, chat. But yes, on to the right side, we have 2 of the OG Renaissance villains, Ursula versus Gaston. I'm gonna go first here.
Okay.
So, we have, well, magical versus normie, once again. We have Ursula, who, like, I feel like it needs to be said, Ursula succeeds in a lot of her plans before she even meets Ariel. Because let's remember, all those little, like, crying things in her cove were mer people.
Yep.
So, like, she has a body count already, and not in the good way.
Shout out to the live action version who actually did kill people, like mer people. So,
but yeah, so she already has that, and I've been.
I mean, you could even argue fate worse than death.
I would say it's a fate worse than death.
With turning them, yeah.
Yeah,
exactly.
And
So no, I'm not sure if
like
live
barnacle
action including
people,
killing
and you,
makes it worse.
yeah. And look, I've been praising
Once
Gaston
there
up
was
and
an
down
ugly
because
barnacle.
and he was so ugly that everyone died. The end. That didn't help at all. But I know I've been praising Gaston up and down because he's so well liked and everything. And Ursula's not. Ursula's feared. But I have to say, with the exception of, like, Gaston's death and stuff, I think Ursula's just stronger because she has so much implicit power behind her. If we go by pure villainy, like, her villain song states how often she's just helping the miserable, lonely, and depressed pathetic, you know?
Yeah.
Like, she gets what she wants all the time. The only thing that stops her is kind of her own hubris that she's like, hey, let's try to take the stuff of the princess, of Triton, of the sea. She was living a pretty decent life for herself, taking basically the souls of the innocent, and causing a fate worse than death, which is becoming like...
But I mean, she was living in exile and whatnot, so you could see how she wanted a revenge on Triton and wanted to get true power.
Oh, yes, I agree. But I'm saying, like, she made a pretty good life for herself in spite of it. That even in exile, these people were still going to the effort to see her. And everything. So,
dare I say, though, like Ariel, she wanted more.
She didn't get to have a part of her world song.
No.
Her part of her world song was just her staring at the throne and staring at Atlantis. But yeah, I think the magical one beats the normie in this situation in my eyes. I'm gonna vote for Ursula. Max, are you gonna make this harder for Lauren, or are you going to give your honest opinion?
The implication that my honest opinion would be Ursula over Gaston anyways. I mean, it is, but no, it's like we established how threatening Gaston is in the context of a small village, but that's it. Now send this boy to the big city, and he's a nobody. Send Ursula to the big city, and she is the queen. So. Yeah, there's actually not even a debate, no?
I mean, that
Ursula,
kind of negates the whole
probably.
point of this show if you say that there's no debate.
No, it's just 3 idiots present battle brackets. were bracket battles. And it was a battle. It was just Ursula came in, gave him an 8-tentacled punch to the face and KO'd him.
I was waiting for you to be like 8-tentacled what, Max?
Well, punch. I said punch. What else could I even have said at this point? But no, sometimes there are fights where it's like an epic battle where they keep pummeling each other for hours on end until they barely can stand up. And other times they come, one hit lands a hit, and it's an instant KO. This kind of stuff happens.
Other times you just kind of flip someone over and break their leg.
Exactly. And that's what happened. His fault for bringing only 2 human legs instead of 8 tentacles.
Exactly. So there we go. So, Lauren, do you have any arguments against Ursula?
Wait, no, shit. Gaston needs to win so that he's up against Buck Cluck, the 2 high school jocks against each other.
I'm sorry, no Pixies backsies.
Damn it!
Well, I'm not going to argue with it either because I was going to say she is the bigger baddie of the 2. And on top of that, you think between the 2 of them, she's the one that has nothing left to lose and everything to gain. That's true. Gaston sits pretty where he is. He's got everything. So he's worried that if he doesn't get even more of what he wants, he loses the respect of the town. That kind of thing, you know? So he'll do whatever it takes to maintain respect. But then that means he has everything to lose. She has nothing to lose, so she's going to be more driven to do whatever is necessary. So...
Yeah, that is fair points.
I'm not worried about Ursula winning. Buck Cluck can still beat her. I mean, chicken eats fish, right? So... No. He just has this snake-shaped obstacle in his way. Because chicken eats snake, right?
Actually, okay, I think chickens may be able to eat garden snakes.
Really?
But what if it's a cobra? A cobra's
well, not a cobra.
Well, actually, they can't even eat the chicken. They'll kill the chicken. I made the point. Garden,
like, you know, little thin snaky boys, not giant king cobras. But, okay, Lauren... Why don't you start this out for us? Oh
boy.
I know this is a difficult choice.
Like they're not even like the same caliber. One's just a really bad dad.
I know, Buck Cluck is just so much worse.
But now it's like we gotta gauge who's a better villain versus who's just a terrible person.
Same difference.
I would argue being an abusive parent is the truest form of villainy.
That's why I'm like, they're totally different. They're bad and they're totally different.
Golden's really campaigning for Jafar in the chat.
The thing is I can't. I'm like, Buck Cluck is bad, but I certainly don't want to see him go forward. And if he potentially wins, I will be. Because, you know, at some point you still have to say, okay, but I still want to like the villain a bit. Like, okay, I still have some fun with Jafar. Like, Buck, I'm just pissed at the entire time.
I'm getting real sick of this dude.
Yeah. It's like
it's always Sunny meme.
Yeah. I'm getting real tired of this dude. Yeah, I'm getting real tired of this dude. I've had enough of this dude. I've had enough of this dude.
Go.
And I think Jafar should go for the win on this because his ambitions are far bigger. Whether he deserves them or not, that you could argue. I don't know. I'm not as big of a Jafar fan person to be like, he could. It's like he's justified. I'm going like this dude, though. He literally doesn't have a shitty job, but he still wants more. I'm like that makes him a real villain. You know, when he's like, you do not really need that much more. You don't have a shitty life or anything. You're just like, I want more. And I will do what it takes to get more. And it's like, even with the Sultan being, he's not a bad guy. There's just some bad legislation that was put in him, that he can easily rectify. But it's like, but he's like, but he doesn't work for a horrible person.
Mm-hmm.
And the princess is not a horrible person. It's like, so he's just being petty, and if anything, that makes him like a more vindictive person, because I'm going like, dude, you have power already and manipulative practices. Why would you? It's like, you can already get what you want and you just want more. And he succeeds in getting more. And it's a very grand scale of what he wants.
These are all very, very good points.
And then with Buck Cluck, he is the small town guy who doesn't aim for anything more other than, I just want people to keep liking me. And so I'm going like, yeah, he's a very realistic person. And also the rest of the town sucks. He's not the only sucky person. The rest of the town, he wants to,
we could have
be
just
liked
put a
by
group
town that
shot
just
of the
sucks
town
anyway.
as the villain, honestly.
Yeah, the whole town, besides Chicken Little and maybe his friends, but even then, his friends, I can argue they're not the best friends either. But you know what? They're better than the rest of the town. So
if the bar is just low enough,
yeah, just enough. And it's like, he's just more pathetic compared to Jafar. I'm like, and I get that you're going, look, I hate his guts, but I would not want to see him beating Jafar in this instant.
You hate him
just
that much, you don't want him to succeed even at the contest of being the worst.
Yes.
Okay. Max?
Glad you ask. Because I have to completely disagree with Lauren there and make a standing plaidoyer, whatever it is in English, for Buck Pluck being the truer villain of the two.
Please.
So first of all, yes.
Please do explain, Max.
My big head.
Let me put you
get my big head right in here.
As you explain. You look like a newscaster addressing the audience, but you had a breaking news segment at a Halloween party, so you had to come in from the Halloween party.
While in the background, the other party goers are still like, "Hey, dude, he's doing a keg stand." No, so. Here's my glorious point. First of all, Jafar is a family movie villain, while Buck Pluck is a villain who just happens to be in a family movie. And
okay. No, go on.
I need
to see. I'm listening to your Shark Tank for this.
Oh, absolutely. So, and on top of this, Lauren made a fantastic point just now. Not about Jafar, but she made a fantastic point about Buck Pluck. So basically, every character in this movie is a shithead. There is barely a likable character. The most likable character by far is Fish Out of Water, and he can't talk. That should tell you something. And Buck Pluck still manages to stand out in this city full of assholes as one of the most disliked, most hated Disney characters, even without having the label of a villain. So yeah, as I said a round ago, Jafar has magic in a magical world. Okay, so he's basically just a backstabbing dude. But here we have Buck Pluck, who in a world full of assholes stands above them all. Thank you. So, T. Now
okay.
you have to decide between
first
the
let me shrink you down. Like what Moonstone says, just get a pin to pop you, so...
Well, yeah. Now you have to decide between the bit and Jafar.
Okay. First of all, I want to shout out Charlie saying, "You don't get to use my gold statement as a defense for KFC." That is amazing. But
we haven't used it ever since, so...
I know, this was a great... We had a Chekhov's gun moment. We introduced it in Act 1, but...
Final statement. Final reason for Buckplug before you come in and make a wrong decision.
Okay.
Buckplug walked after Jafar could already run. He is such a badass, he doesn't feel the need to run. So
he walks away from explosions.
Exactly.
Okay, so I have no meaningful additions to these arguments. Both of you brought up points that I probably would have brought up. So I'm just gonna say that actions speak louder than words.
No, come on!
And that was my action.
No!
I know, Prince John on your head must be, like, reeling right now, because he's like, I couldn't even get into the bracket, but Buck gets to be in the Final Four?
Oh, Chrissy, you are going to sleep on the couch tonight.
Oh, come on. I'm apparently going to sleep on a lot of people's just mental couches with how they're reacting. Folks, I want to say, if you're questioning my morals here, remember I'm the same person who cooperated with this guy right here, not once but twice, to pretend that I saw something so I could talk about it, and then reveal at the end that I never saw it.
It was so glorious.
It was so glorious.
And they fell for it a second time.
I know, that was the best part. Because people
what
don't
was it? Cart before the pony, and what was the other one?
The original, like, 80s MLP movie with the smooths. Because there was a whole panel where it was, like, just talking about it. Everyone on the stage said their opinions. And you and I conspired, and you were in the back of the audience. And I was talking about it, like, because I'm really good at bullshitting and acting like I've seen something when I haven't. And the best part was that I ended it by being, I've never seen the movie! And the entire audience, like, was like, what the fuck? Yeah! And, man, no one on stage liked me. And Golden was there! He was on stage! He was not happy with me! But yes, so, we have our final four. Mother Gothel and Frollo versus Ursula and Buck Cluck. Oh boy. What a combination, everyone. I accidentally grabbed Lauren's thing. It almost looked like she was walking away out of frustration.
She is so done with our bullshit.
You know how me and Max have a little in-joke about a webcomic that I always say that I'm gonna do that never happens, which is Angry German Man. Which is just fake headlines with vaguely things about Max. And we always make side characters that are just always annoyed Californian, exasperated Coloradan, like all these things where it's just people being violently annoyed with us. I feel like we're living through one of those comic strips right now. Annoyed Californian stares at angry German.
It's a point where she doesn't even talk to us anymore.
She doesn't.
Is she still in the call?
She's still here.
I'm still here.
She's just disappointed. She's not mad. She's just disappointed. And maybe mad.
Even worse.
I don't know. I can't speak
Better
for
be
her.
anticipating roast chicken next time we dive into this.
But yes. Boss, I need a screenshot of the tournament board right now. Okay, hold on. Let me zoom out for a second. Boop. And then... Alright. I will send you this later. We are all disappointed. Don't add hun at the end of that, Golden. That makes it worse. We're all disappointed in you. Why are you disappointed in me? Max was the one who made the fucking argument.
Yeah, but everybody expects this from me.
They don't expect me to be influenced from you? Have they met me? Have they perceived me before? You're a terrible influence.
Oh, I am.
Anyways. It is time for the big moments. And you know what? To punish ourselves, Lauren, you get to be the first vote for both of these, so...
Oh, are
Mother
we cleaning this
Gothel
out right
versus
here, right now?
Frollo.
Are we doing this right now?
Or should we do a quick break for everybody to refresh and go into the semi-finals?
Unless we want to make the final thing next time. But we only have
Oh no, I just want to.
rounds.
Yeah, I just want to go to the toilet. 3 technically.
What? Oh,
We have
never
3
mind,
more
I heard
rounds.
you.
Well, what do you think we should do, Lauren?
Commercial
Well, I guess
break.
we can
Send
make this
people.
quick and painless because I only have so much time. So,
Okay.
Yeah, okay, then you know what?
Well, okay, so
I think
no
this is a
commercial
good way
break.
to end it then. Like, we could do the final round, next time.
That's fair.
And you know,
So
maybe
that people have time to send you and me death threats to not continue the bit.
Exactly. And you know what?
Or
Maybe I'll put,
bribes.
I'll also put in the Discord, I'll put in the PSD file for this board with our preliminary votes and everything. So, all of this, and next time, along with doing the final few rounds, we can also see other people's battle brackets and who they think, you know, in alternate timelines, their idiotic choices. I think that would be fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
But yes, we are left with our final 4, and we will see which ones win next time. But until then, folks, you just watched 3 idiots have Disney villains battle each other. So until then, goodbye, everyone. Goodbye.
And happy 20